What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards Football Sports Talk Radio. I'll be your host and producer, Logan Landers, and join me here today to do a very early 2025 NFL Draft Prospect video. This time we're going to be talking about the offensive lineman coming out of Texas, Mr. Kelvin Banks Jr., and how well he has done this season and up to his career, and how we think it can progress for the rest of the year. Help me talk about him and what we like about the young man who is leading the Longhorns to a great season so far. Help me out is our resident Texas fan, Jay McMinn, of course, from the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. Jay, how you doing, my friend? And what have you liked about Mr. Banks and helping out your tremendous backfield so far this year?
Yeah, Logan. Hey, thanks for having me, man. I'm doing well. Yeah, Kelvin Banks, he's the left tackle for Texas. Logan, the one thing when I think of when you ask me what I think about offensive linemen, especially the left tackle, I say this is the bodyguard for the quarterback, right? Literally, that's what they are. They're bodyguards, right? Their whole mission is to keep the blind side protected for their quarterback, right? That's the whole mission of a tackle. So we'll talk about those guys for a second. Originally he was going to go to Oregon. Initially, he had signed with them, and then, of course, he decommitted and wound up with Texas, which I think in his career probably was a better move, considering that we're in the SEC for his overall drafting and stuff, which I expect this guy to go pretty high in the draft. If he doesn't go one it's not one, but if he doesn't go like 2 or 3 in next year's draft, I would be highly surprised because he's just that good, right? He's a third-year guy, started 34 games. He was tabbed Offensive Lineman of the Week back in September 30th. 2024 preseason first-team All-American. He did not allow a sack or QB pressure versus Mississippi State in their first SEC conference game, which clearly, that's Archie Manning at the quarterback. And the last thing we need is Archie Manning to get sacked or pressured or whatever, right? I mean, we don't need that guy getting hurt. So he's done a really good job at protecting Archie Manning and Quentin Ewers. He's helped the offense get off to 8 yards per play, which is a huge thing on the passing side and the running side, right? He's provided a pocket for Archie Manning to operate from. 26 for 31 at 324 is what Archie did. And that doesn't help, or that doesn't come unless number 78 is doing his job to make sure Archie Manning can do his job. He's cleared their path for 3 rushing touchdowns so far. So he's doing his job, at both ends of the stick, right? He's a multi-dimensional guy and not necessarily just a one-dimensional person. He earned All-American and all Big 12 honors last year as a sophomore on the high school level, on the highest level of college. The one thing I've noticed about him, he has great physical tools, clearly. He's got the experience to protect, and I think he should be an early he should be a higher draft round pick, in my opinion. But you look at the strengths of this guy: athleticism, lateral agility, range as a blocker, scheme. He's versatile. He's a versatile run blocker. I mean, those are all of his strengths, which are all the things that you're looking for, right? Some of the concerns would be balance, body control, run block a little bit, sustaining the block on the run plays, and turning his shoulders and open up the base during passing plays. So he has a few things he needs to work on. I think, during this year, he'll continue to work on those things. And I think once he gets to the pro level, they'll continue to develop there. But again, this guy is a great guy. He's great for Archie Manning. He's great for Quentin Ewers. Great for the overall program in terms of impact and what he means to this team. And eventually, I think he's going to be a great offensive tackle somewhere in the NFL. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys if we suck bad enough.
Hey, you never know. We did get a comment here on the show saying best tackle in the draft for 2025. I mean, there's not a whole lot of debate. I mean, I think that when you look at Kelvin and just how well he's performed, Jay, the thing I like about him, he's always on the field and he's always making an impact. Right? You don't ever see him go down much. He's pretty much always playing every snap he can, and he makes this team click. We always say that. The offensive line is kind of like the motor of a team, because if nothing's going on with them, the team don't do nothing. If you can't get good protection in the pass game or in the running game, your team's going to struggle. You're not going to get yards. You're not going to get touchdowns. You're not going to get time in the pocket. So if I'm Quinn Ewers and if I'm Arch Manning, I'm treating these guys out to as much dinner as they want, as much dessert as they want. They've earned it. When I look at Kelvin, super impressive, as you said. He's a big guy, 6'4", around the 320 range in terms of his weight. He's got really good speed and quickness for a guy that size. Like I said, a really solid motor as well. You don't see him huffing and puffing a whole lot. Like I said, he's in the 320s, but he doesn't carry it like that, though. Very well conditioned, really strong. He's got those tree trunk legs. He's got good leverage as well, man. He also, too, he doesn't stay to one person. He is always kind of looking around the field. And it's going to be, I think that he is a really solid player. SI Sports Illustrated.com, they have him going at the moment to the Denver Broncos at number 3. That would be a really good fit at this moment. Of course, you have the young Bo Nix out there who will need some help rebuilding that program. So I think if you could get a guy like Kelvin Banks out of Texas, that would be a good pickup. But I mean, right now, Jay, this is a guy who he's nasty, right? He's got that mauler mentality. And he's from Humble, Texas, but he doesn't play humble on the field, right? He is a down and dirty offensive lineman, like you said, the bodyguard there at the left tackle. And he has played every bit to the hype of both him as a 5-star recruit and to his team, which we know how good Texas is doing this year. Need I say more? I think that if he continues this trajectory, Jay, he very well could be, one of the top linemen, if not the first lineman taken in the 2025 NFL draft. I like Kelvin Banks. He is an absolute unit, man. And I know it's going to hurt you when he leaves because this seems like a guy who could be like a generational type of talent if all keeps going like we've seen. But I like this kid, and he's got a lot more to grow. And I'm excited to see how his future is going to be for whatever team that drafts him in the NFL come 2025. But I know one thing, Jay, it's probably going to be a first rounder if I had to bet. So it's going to be fun to see how Kelvin Banks does for the rest of the year for UT. And where he can go in the NFL draft. We'll talk more a little bit about him once draft day gets closer and closer, I'm sure. And if you guys want to tune into any of our other draft videos or any ones we've done in the past, talk about guys and, where they went, how we thought they were looking going into the league, and maybe how they're doing now, see if we got it right so far. You can go and do that. Check out Facebook and YouTube. And also you can go check Jay and myself out. We have our own channel, the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network, on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. I mean, you name it, we're over there. And we're putting out great content every single week over there. And it's always fun. And Jay, I appreciate you, my friend, coming on the show, talking about your boys here. Just did a video on Arch Manning. Go check that one out. And we got one here in Kelvin Banks. Once again, if you enjoyed the episode, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. And until next time,